There's something infinitely more satisfying about eating great food off the back of your motorcycle, even if it's in an old broken down parking lot. Come here when I need to think. Lately I've been thinking a lot about my roots and why I started riding. There's a part of me that's always been drawn to motorcycles. From playing with Hot Wheels, I always liked, collecting different hot rods, to seeing motorcycles in magazines at the gas station. I skateboarded a lot as a kid, listened to a lot of punk music, and kind of was into that alternative scene. And so I think that motorcycles just naturally the next step for me. There's always been a part of me that knew that I wanted to do it, but didn't get into it till a little bit later in life. Actually, one of my really good friends, Ryan, we lived in kind of a frat house when I was younger, in my early 20s. We'd constantly talk about wanting to get our licenses, wanting to get bikes, and ride around and explore Canada. He currently is on his second kid, me as well, and both of us have bikes, been riding for a long time. He doesn't live here anymore, but shout out to you, Ryan. You've been a rad friend, and he was one of the first guys to kind of get me into wrenching on bikes. It leads me into my next segue. I had a lot of friends when I was growing up that used to wrench on cars and do some mechanic work, but none of them that really were into bikes. And I picked up little tricks along the way. I watched a lot of my friends work on stuff, but I was never really inclined to do anything mechanically. I did really like to work with my hands. I did woodwork when I was younger. I did some welding when I was younger, but it wasn't until later in life I started working with CN, actually, and I picked up my first motorcycle, which was a Suzuki Boulevard. And I started wrenching on it and haven't looked back. I absolutely love working on motorcycles. There's something incredibly therapeutic about it. Aside from wrenching and working on the motorcycle, though, there was something inside my soul that was calling for adventure. It was calling for something more wild. And I think that I like things that are made by hand. I like things that a little bit more thought goes into them. We live in a very mass-produced world, and unique experiences are definitely something that I like to collect and try to create as much as possible. And so I think by riding motorcycles, that's the perfect way that you can experience life, and do it in a really adventurous way. Packing some of the essentials on your back and on your bike, and going out into the middle of nowhere and just testing yourself. I think part of it is disconnecting, getting away from what we're used to, and getting back to something that's more primal and something that's more ingrained in us, that's been with us for a really long time. That's always definitely been about the adventure, but the adventure definitely calls to me a lot more. I definitely watch a lot of Scooter Tramp Scotty. I'm listening to a lot of his things, and he talks a lot about only having possessions that aid in the experience of your soul, or somehow benefit that trip that your body's taking through this life, and that if it's not a tool that can somehow aid you, that it should return to the dirt, and that you should let it go. And I've been starting to really enjoy that. I've been focusing more on the moment, focusing more on the ride, and not trying to just accumulate a whole bunch of things, but rather accumulate a lot of experiences and try to meet as many people through this hobby as possible.